Hey everybody, Jimmy Eats here. Thanks again for tuning into my channel. Well, today is St. Patty's Day and we're going to do a St. Patty's Day dish. Now, I'm not real keen on cooking Irish food because I'm not Irish. But we're going to do an easy one. It's called the Dublin Coddle. Basically, what it is leftovers from the refrigerator. Some potatoes, some carrots, some onions, some bacon, some bangers, which in our terms is just smoked sausage, a little parsley, beef broth, chicken broth. They boiled it up, made a stew out of it. They call that Dublin Coddle. Of course, they like their Guinness and their Irish beer, so I'm going to celebrate with one of those as well. So, with that being said, give me a minute. I'm going to prep up some stuff. We're going to make it happen. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back with you. All right, everybody, I'm back. I'm going to start with the prep work. I'm going to try to make it quick. We'll start off with this bacon. I got 2 of these packages of bacon. I know it's a lot of bacon. I'm only going to put 4 or 5 strips into this coddle. But everybody else in the house wants some BLTs, I guess, for their St. Patty's Day. So I'm going to cook it all up, and then they'll have some for their supper as well. So we're going to start off with getting this in there on the Blackstone. It won't take long to cook. While we're waiting for that to cook, I'm going to prep up my my potatoes. All I'm going to do is I'm going to quarter them out. That's a half. That's a quarter. I'm going to cut them in chunks about that big. Okay, and then when this is done, I'm going to use the grease to bake it, to cook the potatoes with, because I like it in the bacon grease. It's really good that way. So I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to do the same with this onion that my daughter, my little leprechaun, thought it was so important to cut some slices in my onion like a jackass. So luckily I can salvage it. I can cut it off here. There's still a lot of onion there. So we'll get that done. I'm going to cut that up. I'm also going to cut up these carrots into chunks about like that. I'm going to cook all that a little bit, and then I'm going to boil it in the broth. So no need to watch me do all the prep work. I just wanted to kind of go over what I'm going to do. So stick with me. I'll get this done, and then we'll have it in the pot. So cut off this dead part here since she kind of ruined it for me. So there's still a lot of onion there, so it should be just fine. Okay, once again, I'm going to repeat the process. And then once again, with the carrots as well. Just chunks about like so. Remember, the bigger the chunks, the longer it takes to cook them, so I don't want to go too big. It's going to take a while to boil all these out and get them soft. So I'm going to try and minimize it a little bit. But nonetheless, this here is my smoked sausage, or in Irish terms, bangers. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut it in little pieces, bite-sized pieces like so. And then I'm going to cook them on the bacon grease when that is done. So now that I got the bacon out of the way, I'm going to start cooking all the stuff for my dish. I'll throw this sausage over here. I'm going to use this bacon grease to my advantage. That's actually how they did it traditionally as well. So I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to kick it down to about a medium heat because I don't want to burn it all up. Can't tell if there's any more sausages under there. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to put a little bit of brown on this sausage, get it crispy a little bit. I'm going to pour all my vegetables on here as well. Get that cooking a little bit too. And then we're going to put it back in the bowl, and then we're going to boil it for probably about an hour. The boil goes for a while. Want them real good and tender. Of course, I'm not going to record for an hour boiling, so don't worry. I'll make it easy on you. Okay, so I'm going to let this cook. I'm going to chop up my onions. I already chopped them. I'm going to chop up my bacon. And we're going to put that in the stock pot. Kind of decent sized chunks, like I did everything else. Fairly crispy, which is kind of what you want. Like that. Okay. That's going in here. Okay, so we're gonna let this cook down a little bit, get a little crispy. I'll mix it up, and then we're gonna put the pot on the Blackstone. We're gonna boil the beef broth and the chicken broth together, and we're gonna make it work. So we're getting there. Time for a swig of this bad boy. Look at this. This is Guinness Stout, it says on there, which means it's got a heck of a bite. It's a dark beer, real strong. There's a little saying that my dad used to say with the word stout. I'm going to say it. It's called stouter than a stud horse piss with the foam farted off. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of strange, but it's a good little catch. So I'm going to have a drink of this stout beer, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Alright, so I got this side heating up on a high now. I got the bacon in there already. I'm going to put my stock pot down right there. I'm going to put in my can of beef broth. 1 can of beef broth. And I have a big container of chicken broth, which is more than the beef broth. I'm going to just kind of guess, try to make it about as 50-50 as I can. Maybe a little bit more of this. Hard to guess without seeing it. I need some liquid in there to keep it boiling to cook the rest of this stuff up. So I'm going to get this a-boiling. I started getting it going. I'm going to put this in there, and it's going to take a good hour to cook these vegetables, these potatoes and onions and carrots all the way through. So with that being said, I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to put it in there, and we're going to let it do its thing. So in a little bit, I'll be back with us to give it a try. All right, so I've had this for boiling on here for quite some time now. I think we got it just about where I want it. Now I'm going to chop up some of this parsley and add it to that. It's got a good little flavor that it adds to it. So chop this up. It's going to be hot, so I'm kind of letting it cool down so I can take a bite of it. Of course, I got to have a bite because I'm Jimmy Eats, and I always take a bite. Make sure I did a good job. Try to get this kind of fine, so got this new cutting board that the girlfriend got for me, and I really like it. It's got wooden legs on it, so it sits right on the Blackstone, and I can cook while I'm recording, so and prep while I'm recording. So that's pretty awesome. I really like it a lot. So okay, so that's pretty good. I think I'm going to add some of this, just like so. All right, so I'm going to grab a bowl. I'll be back. I'm going to scoop some out. All right, we're going to take time to scoop it up and give it a whirl. Looks really good. There's lots of stuff in there. It looks Irish to me. Well, I hope it's good. First time doing this, so essentially I like all the stuff that I put in it. I think I'm probably about the only one besides one of my daughters that will even think about trying this. So I guess me and her will have a fun time eating it. And she's just going to have a little bowl, and it's really hot, so I'm not going to put a lot in there for her. Some juice to go with it. Okay, so that's for her. Add a little bit more parsley, a little bit more for her. All right, let's take a look. What do y'all think? Don't look too bad. Hopefully the Irishman did a good job. I think it looks pretty good. It's a stew, it's a soup. I like soup. So we'll give it a shot. Taste test, here we go. First bite down the hatch. It's hot. But I really like the combination of beef broth and chicken broth together. It does give it a good flavor. I didn't put any seasonings in it, which I think I'm going to add a little salt. I got some sea salt here. Put a little bit of that in there. Put some in here with it. Might be the only thing that is missing, which isn't too bad. So, not a bad little dish. Hopefully it sets off my St. Patty's Day the way I like it. I think I'm happy. So far, so good. On that note, I'm going to grab another one of these guys because it is a holiday. So, with that being said, time to pop the top and take a slam. They don't even make them as twist tops. It's old-fashioned. All right, everybody. Tell you what, I'm Jimmy Eats. That's just what I'm gonna do. Gonna eat. I'm gonna have my Guinness. Have a great night. Thank you very much.